Hello guys, welcome back to another video. If you like my content, you can go 2 inches below your screen and click the subscribe button. Before we get started with the tutorial, I want to say that this tutorial will take around 2 weeks of practice and you will be able to solve the cube in under 1 minute. Before we get started, first you need to know what are edge pieces, corner pieces and center pieces. First, if we want, we can take the orange, red, blue corner piece. Corner pieces have 3 colors on them. Like this. If you disassemble the cube, this is how it looks like. Next, we can see our edge piece. The white green. This is an edge piece. It has 2 colors on it. This is how it looks when it is disassembled. And the center pieces are the pieces which don't move. These are the pieces in the middle of the sides. After watching the video, you can check out the description where I have a Google Drive link which has a detailed explanation of the whole process of how to solve the cube. Now let's get started with the tutorial. Firstly, you would need a Rubik's cube. It can be solved or it can be scrambled. Before you start learning how to solve the cube, firstly you need to know the cube notations, which are the moves used while solving the cube, which are like right, up or down. In this tutorial, I won't talk about the more complex notations like M or B, but then because this is the beginner's tutorial, so only I'll do the basic ones. First, let's do R. R means the right side. If you push the right side up, it's right, and if you push it down like that, it's R prime. Prime means the opposite of the move. And if you move the R face twice, then it's R2. But then if you move the R face down also twice, it's still R2. There's nothing like R2 prime. Next is L. For L, if you move it down, it's left, but if you move it up, it's L prime. And if you're wondering what prime is denoted by, it's denoted by an apostrophe symbol. L2 will be up or down, you can do anything, but twice. Next, we can do the U. U is, if you push it to the left side, it's up, and if you push it to the right side, it's U prime. And U2 will be doing the up face twice, moving it. Now, for practicing the R, U and L moves, we can do this pattern. For R, you can do this 6 times, and then it will come back to the original position. Even if you have a scrambled cube like this one, just do it 6 times, it will come back to the same position. For L, it will be in the other side. For the right side, the moves would be R, U, R prime, U prime. And for the left side, it will be L prime, U prime, L, U prime. At first, you won't be able to do it this fast, but then later on, after practice, it will be very fast. One more thing I want to say is that in this tutorial, we won't be using finger tricks like for D, like we can do this. We'll just be doing it normal, like for beginners, like this. So, because this is a beginner's tutorial, like you can learn the finger tricks and everything from other channels if you want. I can link them in the description after you learn how to solve the cube. But first you need to know how to solve the cube in under 1 minute, then you can move on to this. After U, which is this, it will be D, which is the down face. For D, this is D and this is D prime. And D2 will be this. Now we are finally on the last cube notation. This might be confusing for some of you, but then just remember the placement of this corner piece. So this is the front side, F and F prime. So you can remember it like this. Let me scramble it. So like if F is done, this will go in the clockwise direction down over here. And if F prime is done, it will go in the anti-clockwise direction. Like this, from here to here. But then clockwise would be from here to here. So this will help you a lot while solving the cube. And you won't get confused that if you are doing F prime or F. And for F2 it will be like this. Or like this. Finally, on the first step of solving the cube. This step is to make the cross, which will be like this as I made in the another example cube. The edge piece and the center piece will both be in the same color on all the four sides. We won't care about the top side just for now, and we'll just make the cross on top, and then we can flip the cube on bottom so that we can do the next step. So firstly, if you want to follow me while doing the while seeing the tutorial, you can follow the scramble I'm doing. Green will be on your front and white will be on your top, like I'm showing here. So you can do R, F prime, D, and F. In this example, we can see that already two of the edge pieces are in the correct slot, meaning that the edge piece and the center piece are both in the same color. So firstly, let's look at this situation where the white piece in the red and white edge piece is on the bottom. So for this, you have to match red with the red center piece, which is over here. So we'll do a D prime. Then you have to do F2 to put it on the top. So now we can see that 3 of the slots are done. And for green, the white piece is on the top instead of the bottom. So for this, you have to first you can align it with the green center piece. Then you can move it to the right or left, whichever is convenient. For me, it's right. You can do a D. Then you have to pull the middle face down. Then you have to do a D prime. But if you moved it to the left like this, then you'll have to move the middle face down, then do a D, then put the middle face up, middle side up. And now you can see that the cross is done. The blue edge piece is in the correct spot. The red is also in the correct slot, the green and the orange. So that's it for the first step. We'll do many other example solves where all the pieces might be not in the correct slot, which will be in another video, which I'll make after this one. So the step for goal 2 is that we have to finish the first layer like this, and the white face will also be done if we are done with the step. So this is how it will look like. The first layer is the one on the bottom, and the white face, the whole face will be done. And the edge pieces will be in the correct slots, even the corner pieces will be in the correct slots. If I didn't mention this, we have to rotate the cube so that the white face is on the bottom. After that, there's 2 simple algorithms you can do. Firstly, you can do the left trigger. The left trigger is when the orange or any edge corner piece, the front of it is diagonally matched with the center piece. So if it was over there, then we would have matched it like this so that it is diagonally matched. After that, perform the left trigger, which is L prime, U prime, L, and U prime. U. So if we do that, this edge piece will be solved. Next, we can see that the white face is on the top. This is not a regular case, but for this we can see it's on the left. So what we can do is that we have to do the left trigger, which is L prime, U prime, L, U. Then we do it again twice. L prime, U prime, L, U. And now we can see that the white corner piece is on the side. So now we have to match it like this, and we can do the left trigger. And now we can see this is also not a regular case. We can see that the edge piece is on the bottom. So what we have to do is we can perform the left or the right trigger, but for now we'll do the left. L, U prime, L, U. Now it's on the top, so we perform the algorithm twice. And now it's on the side. For this one, it's in the bottom. We'll try the right trigger. The right trigger is when we do R, U, R prime, U prime. This is done when the edge piece, the corner piece, is diagonally matched with the center piece on the right. Now we have to do it again. R, U, R prime, U prime. Now we can see that the first layer is done and the white face is done on the bottom. Of step 3 is that we have to finish this 2 layers. Cubers would do this as F12, but we are doing layer by layer, which is kind of easier than F12, which has a lot of algorithms. So firstly, we can see the situation we have right now. We have 2 pieces over here to be matched, and over here we have 1. So how we do this is with 2 simple algorithms again, which are for the right and for the left. So firstly, we have to make the edge piece and the center piece have the same color. The edge piece was there, so I moved it with a U prime to come here. Now on the top we can see red, and red is on the right. So what we have to do is push the edge piece away from the right side, which should be U prime, U. After that, we have to perform the algorithm. R, U, R prime, U prime, then the left trigger. L, U prime, L prime, L. So in this we can see that both of the edge pieces and the edge piece and the corner piece are solved. Next we can see that we only have 2 more pairs. This one, it looks like it's solved, but then actually it's supposed to be blue over here, and this is the edge piece. So we can move it like this, and now the piece on the top is on the left. For this, to move it away, we have to do U prime, then we do the left trigger. L, U prime, L, U. Then we can do the right trigger. R, U, R prime, U prime. And now you can see that this slot is solved. And for this one, it's also on the left. So we move it away with a U prime. Then we do L, U, L, L prime, U, L, U. Then we do the right trigger, R, U, R prime. And now we can see that the second layer is solved, and only the top layer and the third layer remain to be solved. The goal of step 4 is that we have to orient all the edges on the top like this. So if it's like blue and orange, then it should be in between of the sides. And if here is blue and red and it's between, and green and red and it's between. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, even it can be like this, but it has to be in the middle of the sides. And this step consists only one simple algorithm. So firstly, you have to check if there is 0, 1, 2 or 4 edge pieces, corner pieces in the correct location. It's not possible to have 3, and if it's already 4, then you don't have to do this step and you can think it as a skip. So firstly, we can move the U face if there are no edge pieces, no corner pieces, and make sure that some are matched. We can see blue, orange over here is not matched. We can see red and green is matched, and blue and red are not matched, and green and orange is not matched. So firstly we can move it like this, which is a U. Then we can see blue, orange, green are matched, but then the red, green and red, blue are not matched. They are in the opposite locations. So what you have to do for this is hold the oriented corners in the left side like this. They are over here, the orange, green and red, blue. You don't need to care about the yellow sticker. It's for the next step. So you put it on the left side, then perform this simple algorithm. U2 R U prime L prime U R prime U prime and L. And now you can see that blue, orange, blue, red, red and green, orange. So now we move on to the second last step, which would be making the full yellow side. So now what we have to do for this, there's only one simple algorithm. So if you have a J like this, then you can move it up and make it look like a J. Then you can do this algorithm: R prime, U prime, F prime, U F and R. And now we can see that the cross on the top is made. So actually we have another algorithm for making the whole side correct. So what we have to do is another simple algorithm. For this you can keep it on the side where there is 3 yellow pieces. It is R U prime R U prime R prime U2 R U2. And now we can see that the fish is made. This is called the fish. But if you made a mistake, the edge pieces or the corner pieces might have been oriented in the wrong locations. As we can see here, even if we did it correct, we have to move it like this so that it will come back to the correct locations. Blue, red, blue, orange. It might be wrong sometimes because when we are doing the step, it might change and we have to do the step again. So we can, as we did in the last step, we can do it again. First we can see that orange, green, red, blue and red, green. There's only one match. There's only one matching. So what we can do is that we can just perform it in any location we want, the step 3. So now what we do is U2 R U prime L prime U R U prime L. So now we can see that the edge pieces, corner pieces are still in the wrong position. But now we can see that this face is done, but we should not care about it right now as we are looking at orienting the edge pieces, corner pieces. So this is on the left and we do it again. And now we can see green, orange, blue, orange, red, blue and red, green. And now we can see that the fish is still there. And what we do is keep it so that the fish is facing you and the yellow sticker is on the side. If it's on the front, you might have to do it 2 times. So the algorithm is R prime. So we'll do it again. R prime U prime R U prime R prime U2 R U2. And now we can see we are on the final step, which is orienting the last layer. Then you will be able to solve the cube for the first time ever. Finally, on the last step of solving the cube, the goal of this step is to solve the cube. Sometimes you might not get a face like this red over here, which is solved, but in this case we have red. If there is no full face like this, then what you'll have to do is perform the algorithm once and the face will be solved, and then we have to keep the face which is solved, which is red over here, in the left side, and for us now green will be on the front, and we perform this algorithm. R2 D prime R L prime U2 R prime L F2. Then you can see this line is formed. After F2 it's D, then R2, and now you can see that it's still the same, but you can see that it was orange over here and now it's blue. And while what this algorithm does is, if the colors match, are if it's blue here then and it's orange, then it will switch here and this will switch here. So now if we do it, the cube will get solved. So now we'll perform the algorithm again. R2 D prime R L prime U2 R prime, then L U F2, then D and R2, and now you can see the cube is solved. As you can see here, this is the scramble which I did to teach you how to solve the cube, and now I've scrambled the cube again the same way to show that how fast you will be able to do it after you practice. So firstly I have my timer here, and let's see how fast I can do it. So in inspection, firstly you need to check the pass. So what I'll think while we have a 15-second inspection, I'll just time the inspection. So I'll think that the white piece will go here, then I'll put the middle face down and I'll pull it up and solve one slot. Then I have to search the other slot which is below, so I'll match it and put it up, and the 15 seconds of inspection time is over. So now let's solve the cube. And there you go, 58 seconds. I messed up in the middle and still I got 58 seconds. And even if you practice, you might even get faster at the end. Like I kind of use beginner's method a lot of times and I still get 53 seconds, 52. And your personal best might even go under the 50-second range. But don't stop learning even after this tutorial. You can go to other channels like JPerm or Paradox Cubing. They have also really good tutorials, like on F2L, which is solving two pairs like this, and then like it will be two pairs instead of one, which we do in this beginner's tutorial. So keep on pushing on, and one day you can become a speed cuber. If you like my vid, you can go down, click on the like button, subscribe and share the video. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out the Google Drive link, which has all the details on how to solve the cube.